Hello and welcome to Bologna for the European Continental Cup. This is the lead finals for the men and women. It's coming up to 4:30 Central European time here in Bologna. So hello and welcome if you're joining me. My name is Matt Groom, and in a couple of minutes the athletes will be entering that space you can see that's been cleared with the mats in front of you. A 24-metre high lead wall awaits, although the routes themselves don't quite go up that high. Too many moves for a route that long. But right now we're going to introduce the athletes, and I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of that man there, our MC for the afternoon, who's going to announce all the athletes, tell you about them. And do remember that you can talk to me on the YouTube chat. There's two YouTube channels going on at the same time, one on EpicTV, one on Farsi. So you can go onto that, send some questions. Hi, Farsi, we've got some people back. Peter from earlier, Jan, of course, he's there. Hello, Jan. Hello, Peter. How's things? Lovely to see you guys. We've been having a good time on the chat, asking questions, having a bit of banter. I've mainly been being quite silly, but it's time for a very serious finals here this evening. And I think we're about ready to go. So I'll leave you in the capable hands of the MC.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now here we are. Welcome to the level 24. We are in this new gym in the center of Italy, built in the last period from some passionate people, but just created something talking about the walls and the material has no meaning. The meaning is that a place could bring a message. The meaning is that a place will represent the people that will live moments in it. And so now here we are, everybody here in the heart of Italy to celebrate a moment all together. And when I say all together, I see everybody that are there, every person that are watching live these events, every person that are watching from home these events, every passionate people that are here to witness something that go beyond the material walls in which we are. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Italy European Lead Cup 2023. E spingici su ste casse. So let's start with the first female athlete, already a winner in the European Youth Cup, both boulder and lead, and 9th place in Zelina, the first events of this season. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Belgium, Lucie Watillon. Going to the man, this young gunner have already took a bronze in the European Cup 21. Is the Italian junior champion and have got the 11th place in the World Youth Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Italy, Luca Boldrini. So back to the ladies. This girl have already took a silver in the European Youth Cup, 14th place in Zelina. Is the moment for her for the revenge. Ladies and gentlemen, representing France, Iltis Quintana. Going to the man, another one that is looking for a revenge because he won the European Cup in Zelina and he took also a 20th place in the World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, representing France, Arsène Duval. Back to the ladies. This girl has started the international competition back in 2007. She got the 14th place in the bouldering World Cup. She's a fighter. She's an example for our national team. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Israel, Valerie Kremer. Next men are one that have won many goals in the European Youth Cup and just took the 18 in the World Youth Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Slovenia, Gozar Jurekovic. Back to the ladies. This young girl took the title of European Youth Champion, took the bronze at the European Cup in Zelina, but more of that, took the bronze at the World Youth Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Spain, Itzia Martinez Almendros. And so now here we are again with a guy, a really young guy that have already took a bronze medal, that took the 5th place in the World Youth Championship and World Youth Championships, and who is one of that we are looking at the most. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Italy, Riccardo Vicentini. Back to the ladies. This girl have won a gold in the European Youth Championships, and she's the one that have won the first event of this season in Zelina 23. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Slovenia, Rosa Rekar. Next one have took the 4th place in the World Youth Championships, but is a one that have already climbing in the Senior World Cup, getting the 16th position. Ladies and gentlemen, representing France, Diego Courbet. And so back to the ladies, a girl that have won many times in the national circuits, a girl that have already took a bronze in the European Cup and a 15th place in the World Cup with the Italian national team. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Italy, Ilaria Skolaris. So back to the man. This guy have already took a silver in Zelina some weeks ago for the European Cup and have took a 17th position in the World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Belgium, T.S. Vrankrijnest. For the girl, this girl have already took a gold in the European Youth Cup, have took a 7th place in the European Cup and 22 in the World Youth Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Austria, Sofia Avender. To the man, another bronze medalist for the youth category and 15th place in the World Youth Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Austria, Felix Mader. So now here we are at the last, aka the best, European Youth Champion, bronze medalist at the World Youth Championships and 6th place in the World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, representing France, Camille Pouget. Back to the last, aka the best, for the man. This guy have already won an IMST, a gold for the European Youth Cup, and have took the 6th place both in lead and boulder at the World Youth Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Spain, Guillermo Feinado Franganillo. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your athletes, this is your public. But before to start with the competition, we want to observe 1 minute of silence for the tragedy that happens this week in Italy, in the railway part close to Branduzzo. And so we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is your athletes, this is Republic. So please, level 24, make a noise, and so we will start. Let's go.
So just like that, the formalities are done, the athletes are introduced, and we're almost ready to get going. And for those of you asking where a few familiar names are, like Alex Magos, this is the European Continental Cup. Now, this is an event that runs throughout Europe, and the athletes use it as an opportunity to not only impress the selectors, but to get some much-needed practice ready for Olympic selection events. So expect some younger athletes, some up-and-coming athletes, and a few big names on the circuit. Now, she joined me last night. Andrea Rojas is back in the commentary box. Now, Andrea, not only are you a speed climber, you're a pretty experienced lead and boulder as well, having competed in lead World Cups. We've checked out these routes. What do you think, first of all, starting with the women's route on the right-hand side? Very endurance-based, we think.
Hello, everyone, again. Yeah, I'm a speed climber, but I used to do lead and boulder too. So looking at these routes, you can see the woman route seems like a little bit more of endurance. It's longer than the semi-final, so it seems that the beginning looks like more to climb a little bit faster with some rhythm, because as everyone knows, you have the limit of 6 minutes, so you have to move still quickly. And yeah, it seems a little bit more about climbing fluently and not really taking long rest in the route.
Yeah, it seems like big moves, big holds throughout. But as you said, it's much longer than before, almost reaching the top of this 24-meter wall. And you can see as our camera pans up, we can see the top indicated by that top. And it's only about maybe 6 meters after that to the top of the wall. So much longer, big moves. And the men's on the left, far trickier, we think, way more power endurance based.
Yeah, it seems like tricky first 4 or 5 quick draws, some movements that are not so easy to read from the beginning, and the middle part looks really boulder, and maybe one coordination move in the middle with no foot. So can't wait to see how the guys read it and how they will solve it.
Absolutely, I can't wait either. And the beginning of the route, potentially either, I mean, I read it as a span because I'm a scaredy cat, but you were like,
yeah.
No, it's a jump, we will see. But down at the bottom, there's a sequence that we have a debate going on in the commentary box, so we'll have to see. And do send us any questions on the YouTube chat. We were answering that Alex Magos question people had. Andrea, World Cup athlete next to me, so you've got lots of experience in the commentary box. And I've been around a few World Cups in my time, so hopefully I can answer as well. But first of all, Lucy Watlington from Belgium is out. Now, Lucy, 9th in Zelina, the last Continental Cup. 48th in Briançon. So one of those up-and-coming athletes, Andrea, who I'm excited to see climb here this afternoon.
Yeah, she's super young. I saw her in some youth European Cups, and maybe this is her first European final. So when she got presented, you could see a big smile in her face. So I hope she will enjoy it and just flow in the wall.
Yeah, it's exciting for some of these athletes. And I was chatting to the German coach about why they're bringing certain athletes. She was saying, look, this is a transition period because you've got the youth circuit, you've got the senior circuit, and it's hard moving from that junior circuit to the seniors. Sure. And events like this allow you the pressure of an IFSC feeling event. But at the same time, you haven't got the massive names necessarily. You haven't got Adam Ondra wandering through the door. Although he could, you never know. He might turn up one day. So Lucy is up to the pinch, thumbs working hard there. You can see the right hand twitching. And Andrea, this is the first of these blue volumes that we see throughout this route. Pretty positive, we think. Reaches up, makes the double clip on the long quick draw. And you can see the graphic on the right hand side. That indicates the score the athletes are on. So she's on hold number 10. She gets a plus if she uses that hold, moves the center of mass and hands towards the next hold. That's how the scoring system works. Oh, what a big move from Lucy early on.
That's kind of a tricky move because it seems easy, but you have the long quick draw in the middle of the way of your right arm, so it can be a problem if you don't think about it. But yeah, she did it really well.
Yeah, it's a good point. Quick draw management and rope management is something you do have to think about. But it's probably the best hold on the route that she went to. From here on, although the holds are okay, there's not really as good a resting moment. And it's always tricky when you have a good rest like that down low because you don't want to necessarily stop that early on. So, Lucy underway, climbing well, dropping underneath. Jeffrey calling me the Murray Walker of climbing. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. Appreciate that. If you understand that, you'll understand motorsport. But Lucy, meanwhile, is chalking up, looking upwards on the wall. And Andrea, overhanging-wise, it's always hard to tell how overhanging a route is. But looking at ponytails and quick draws can be one way to tell, right?
Yeah. The wall starts to be really overhanging in this part. So even though the holds seem really good, it definitely starts to pump your forearms and biceps.
Yeah, and she's only halfway up at the moment, so gets a heel locked in. And again, a bit quick draw management needed here. That quick draw slightly in the way and just made the adjustment before making that move. And now having to work as she does the double bump, possibly looking for a match here. Wraps those fingers in. And it is always tricky with Continental Cups in terms of route setting because the setters thought that other athletes were coming to this event, and when you have to set for potentially athletes who are making finals of a World Cup and then they don't arrive, it can be quite difficult to judge a route.
Yeah, we saw that at the time of the registration there were some of the German strong guys and from other countries that at the end they decided to not come, so it's hard for a route setter to do changes, but I think they are used to do these little changes after seeing how semifinals and qualis goes.
Yeah, those adjustments have been made. Lucy hits the blocked crimp with the left hand, wraps in a heel, crosses through, and you can see how much she's having to work here as that right elbow starts to come up. And a big move needed. And I think she did as well as she could do in that moment. Doesn't seem too disappointed. So Lucy Watlington comes down. She will be our current leader on 34. And I have been told that we're swapping now to the men's side of the competition. So once an athlete falls, we'll swap genders, move to the men's, and then back to the women's. And do remember, if you're joining us on the chat, ask us any questions you want. We may not answer. We may not answer accurately, but we'll give it a go.
We can try.
We can definitely try.
She was definitely a little bit bumped, but I think if she would be a little bit more decisive on that move, she could grab it.
Yeah, needed a bit more snap, I think, a bit more pop
Yeah.
to the left in order to get it. She went very statically over. All right, next, getting a big round of applause, as you'd expect, Luca Boldrini. Apparently, I've been informed by the chat, no relation to Boldrini, the shoe brand. We had a bit of a debate earlier, but he is a separate entity. But 11th in the Youth World Cup in Seoul. And Andrea, look, you are Ecuadorian, but you live in Italy, you train in Italy. Describe the atmosphere here a little bit, because the second Luca walked in, the whole crowd picked themselves up.
I love the environment of the comps here in Italy. It definitely is different. And you can see there are a lot of Italians here hoping that the youth team, because we will see Luca, but also Ricardo are youth guns that are coming up and really improving really fast. And they just got back from Seoul and they are here trying hard. That's something to admire. But I know Italians love to compete, love to make more experience, and I think these, as you said, these kind of competitions, even though they are senior, they help the youth athletes to get more experience and get more secure about these kind of competitions.
Exactly, because it is such a big step up when you suddenly walk onto an IFSC World Cup stage. The lights are there, suddenly there's lots of media in your face, people like me shoving cameras near you, so it's intense. Right, Luca doing well through the bottom section, and this is where the power starts to wind up a notch here. Toe hooks throughout, and lots of body tension required.
This was the first move we saw that it would be hard, because the second purple hold looks really sloppy, and it is right when it starts to be overhanging, but he managed it really well.
It's slopey as well. The women's route fairly crimpy, but the men's quite open-handed. And you can see he is crimping. There is a bit of a lip on that purple volume, but having to work hard. Makes the clip. Will shake out. So the first real opportunity Luca's had to rest here. And about a third of the way up, he's going to use this. Slaps in, big compression move.
So strong pegs.
Andrea just made an oomph face next to me, and I think that's the best way to describe it, is that oomphy kind of move where you suck your body in. And now, finally, he gets exactly unleashed on the crimps. And up to a very oddly shaped hole. He's going to get it into a pocket here, and just fingertips on that blocked hold.
Wow.
Big moves from Luca. And the crowd responding.
This is the no-foot move. Oh, so close.
Canvassing out there from Luca Boldrini.
He tried to put the foot into little cream, but it is hard. I think if he would decide from the beginning to do it with no foot, maybe it would be easier to take it.
Yeah, we'll see some replays of this. So he had the toe hooked in down low, bumped his hands over on the sloper. That was the lip that he was crimping in order to make that clip.
He climbed really well all that purple section.
That was your oomph move as he brought that left hand in to catch the coordination into the crimps, and then look how close he came to dropping this. Fingertips in that blocked crimp. And then into the no feet section, as you said. And this was the hesitation you were talking about.
Yeah, he was hesitating, trying to put the foot, and at the end he tried with no foot. That's good decision, but maybe...
I got a quick question for you, Andrea, from Daniel on YouTube, who's saying, what's your favourite pre-workout meal? So before you go to the gym, what do you like to eat?
Ooh. Fruit?
Fruit?
Yeah, I love fruit.
I was expecting protein bars and, like, you know, stuff like fruit. Okay, fair enough. Eat your veggies, kids. Right, Kitana.
Variety of fruits, come on.
Which fruit specifically? Are you banana, apple, orange? I mean, there's a lot going on.
Like in Italy, watermelon is super good. Peach, I don't know. Trying to vary it.
That's fair enough. Right, we'll turn our attention back to the climbing. Quintana is underway for the women. She's 20, hasn't had that much experience as well. So this is a good example of an... Oh, and falls!
So early fall, for sure.
Oh, big mistake.
Oh.
And it was interesting because at the beginning of the competition, you could see her talking a lot to a fellow competitor about the start of the route. She was unsure.
Yeah.
And I think we've just seen that played out. Let's see this replay. Had the left, went right, and it was a barn door just swung off. Well, there we go. So an early fall. And this is this experience thing we're talking about. Like, these athletes want this kind of experience. And although, yeah, she can't quite believe that, she will learn from it. So we lose Quintana very early on for the women. But immediately we move on to her teammate, Arsène Duval. And Arsène, someone you know fairly well.
Yeah. He got first in the last European. Climbed so well in that comp. He got third also in the French Championship early in June. He's, I think, maybe in the best shape of his life. Maybe, I don't know, but it seems to. And he's doing the little jump for the start. So.
He did the jump, yeah. See, I read it as he goes off the right and stretches left. And I think, what's his name? Luca might have done that. But yeah, good work from Arsène to sort of break that first beater.
Yeah.
And prove me wrong. So, you know, that's always good as well. So Arsène moves upwards. And this powerful men's route. I think he's spotted how boulder it is. He's moving quickly here.
Yeah.
The route setting team is actually on my left-hand side here in the commentary box. And Jacopo Larca especially is very active in setting these routes. And Arsène, with that right foot buried deep into the pocket, now comes into the crimps and a blocked underclink through his fingers. And he will cross through, and looking as really in control at the moment.
Really confident. Good first part of the route. Really good compression.
And a nice bicycle in as well. Right toe pressing in underneath, left toe on, I think there's a jib there on the no-tick surface.
Yep.
Matching his own hands, but this is a powerful move and he's struggling. Just adjust the feet in order to get the left toe hook in.
Come on.
Yeah, he needs to really figure this out quick.
Yeah, that purple hold is sloper, so...
It's not going to be getting any better, is it, the more he's on it. So, moments here for Arsène early on in the route. He's got a heel in underneath now. Outrageous back heel. Gets the left hand, but goes. Wow. Wow, what a finals, Andrea. This is a bit heartbreaking for some of these athletes. You have also started an entire debate here on pre-workout meals. A lot of people saying they'll go for the breakfast option, which I think is wrong. Let's see a replay of this. So this is where it went wrong. Got the left hand on the sloper. Good idea with the bicycle, but then he just seemed to go backwards from there.
Yeah, like he's a tall athlete, so maybe putting both foot so high didn't help him to really go decisive into the next one. Luca, that is also a taller athlete, I think he had the foot underneath, so yeah, then he tried different things, but a sloper hold like that, every more time you're there, it gets worse and worse, so...
Yeah, it was on it too long, didn't commit. Someone's asking about a clock, by the way. We do have a clock. We're not displaying it on screen, but I can see it from where I'm sitting. So if it becomes a problem, I'll let you know, okay? But that's the reason. And big shout out to the live stream crew, actually. I've been calling his name out all day, but the director, and the camera people down on the floor really doing a great job, not missing any of the action, so thank you very much to the team involved. Right, Valerie is underway. Valerie Kremer from Israel. Now, 32 years old, so in my category of age, so she's definitely my favourite. And it's good to see Team Israel. The only Israeli athlete to make it through, but they did have a big team here.
Yeah, I know her since a long time. Oh no, and falls again.
Another slip.
Also, in the same movement.
So that's 2 out of 2 for this women's route.
Such a shame.
Wow, well, drama here. I mean, you cannot walk away from this competition. This is full on. So Valerie takes an early slip. Let's see this again. It was that barn door. And I tell you what, again, she was reading that with Kitana at the beginning. Because I was watching it and they were nodding, they were agreeing on the sequence. So that could be a pure old-fashioned route reading error going on there.
I don't know, the green hole looks good, but it's not that good on that position, and you have the foots that are a little bit like you have to put a lot of pressure on the foots, and sad to see both falling so early and really doesn't show the best and the fight on the route.
Absolutely right. I mean, for us watching, it sort of heightens everything a little bit because now I cannot relax. You know, usually in some routes you're like, it's fine up to a point and then I'll get nervous. But right now, I've got no idea what's going to go on here. So it makes it very, very intensive here. All right, Gorzad is on from Slovenia. Looks up, and we're looking here as we pan up our men's route.
He got 9th in the Youth World Championship in Seoul. Another youth athlete that just came back from the other part of the world and he's here competing. Youth energy, I don't know. I'm feeling old when I'm saying this, but I don't think I would be able to do that.
That is complete rubbish, Andrea. You'd definitely be able to do this. I've seen you warm up for speed. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Andrea Rojas is joining me in the commentary box. He's not only a speed athlete, but a very experienced lead and boulderer as well. So thank you so much for bringing your expertise here. Gorzad, though, less experienced perhaps, as you said, coming from the youth. And you can go and watch the IFSC Youth World Cup broadcasts. It's free on YouTube. So go and have a look if you want to check out some action. And hello to everyone listening. Climbing Thomas, hello, how's things? Lovely to hear you all talking. Peter asking me a question, is isolation as strict in CCs, Continental Cups, as for World Cups? Yes, it is indeed, very, very strict. Exactly the same rules apply, and that is why these competitions are great, because it allows the athletes to get into the routine, to understand the processes. And let's watch here as Gorzad comes in. This is where we saw problems before. Lots of skin involved with that big right hand of his pressing in. But this is the move that can be nervy, but he does it quicker.
Yeah, he put his right foot right down to help him to be more stable in the movement and to push a little bit more into the next hold. That maybe is what Arsene didn't got faster.
I think Arsene just got in his own head. He sort of like tried to work out a static way of doing it, whereas Gorzad, no issues, just straight into that move. Right, so nervy bit done. We're into the crimps, but this blocked hold coming up, and that was a big unwind.
Elbow looks like he's already a little bit tired.
I think so, just into that blocked hold.
Let's see how he do this move.
Oh, he's missed the good part of that hold.
No.
Bumps left. This is a brutal finals here.
That's the thing of having a pocket. I know it's big pocket, but you have to have the precision to take it and on the right position and coming from the other part of the direction of the wall and kind of jumping into it. You have to be really precise. It's a really difficult movement.
It is indeed, yeah. It's a big one. And off a sloper as well. And you can see he got the wrong part of the hole. Right, this is the crimpy section before where he fell. So move to the block crimp, which is harder than it looks. That will sap your right arm. Made this move, and this is the move we both went ooh on, because he crossed in with the right, but a bit too high. And there, adjusted down, almost fell. And then the move to the pockets kind of slipped the foot as well,
yes.
popped off the no-tex.
He went a little bit higher into the pocket,
and what we're watching here is the figure of 8 knot. We've seen this a few times. I think it's just because how far the athletes fall on this big route. It locks up. It's the official knot. The athletes have to use it. And the MC is about to announce something on the stage. If he starts speaking in English, I'm going to be quiet so we can hear what's going on. I'm not too sure. Well, a little bit of drama going on. Not entirely sure what is happening.
they are calling all the coaches.
Yeah, so they're calling the coaches. So now, look, presumably this is some kind of a route reading or route setting issue. As in, there's a mistake with the setting. They're calling all of the coaches from the federations to discuss it. This could mean a complete reset for the athletes. And considering we saw 2 early falls, potentially there is an issue with the bottom of this route. This is something I have never seen before, and no one is necessarily informing us of what's going on. So once we know, we'll let you know. But drama. Andrea, this is the most dramatic. I mean, I asked you to commentate a lead finals, and I've brought you into a real drama here.
First experience, and now we don't know what is happening.
Yeah,
here.
we have no idea. I mean, generally, I'm 50% sure on what's going on at the best of times, so we'll find out in a minute. But do bear with us. So you can see the discussions taking place between the judges. There is no setter in there, which is interesting. And I'd expect there to be a setter, but on the left, I can see the setting team getting ladders. You can see in the background. So we know it's some kind of a setting issue. We know the setters are ready to change something. And it could be that there's something missing. However, I mean, if you are someone like Lucy who got far higher at the beginning, I'd be appealing this one. I'd be saying, well, hang on a sec, guys. I mean, I've gone up. And there we can see a setter in action. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, if I was the Italian team coach here, and you could see him on the right, I think I'd be having a few words. So, interesting stuff. And Jeffrey is calling up the Aimori question. Jeffrey, I'm going to call you out on this one because there was a lot of chat about Aimori's height in the Bowen World Champs. I specifically spoke to route setters who were saying there are members of route setters on the team who are the same height as Aimori, and in fact, they set boulders which would definitely be able for her to reach. So, Jeffrey, just to let you know, the Aimori issues was nothing to do with being too short. And I want to say that because I think route setters get a bad rep a lot of the time. So, just to let you know, Jeffrey. So just to let you know, we've been told that the men's will continue and the women's will pause. So we're not sure exactly what the issue is in terms of the route itself, but that's the order. So the men's will continue, the women's will pause. Potentially it's something higher up on the road. I mean, we keep saying it's down low. It might not be. It could be something they've spotted they've missed higher up. So, luckily, I have an Italian next to me who is telling me that they forgot a route a hold somewhere on the route. We're not sure where it is, but it's a missing hold that needs to be replaced. So that's what's going on. And they will hopefully do that whilst the men's comp's going on, so there's not too much of a delay in proceedings. Andrea next to me is listening carefully. But that is the issue. Complicated finals here tonight.
He just said that they will put the hole that miss in the route, and the athletes will have the opportunity to do a second attempt, and but it will count the best result between the two attempts. So the first lady, Lucy, that had a good result, she has the chance to still have the first result as the best.
So if she doesn't improve on her score, what you're saying is if she doesn't improve on her score, she can keep her score.
Yeah.
But the other athletes who are saying, look, it didn't work down low, they'll get a chance to climb again.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, look, you guys can debate. That is a fairly chunky hold to miss. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, well, that's the hold. And look, I guess what that's used for is the kick. So the barn door, the reason they were swinging off, because they had nothing to kick on. And I tell you what, it shows how strong Lucy was, that she could hold that swing.
Yeah, I mean, with that black volume, you have a more stable movement into the next hold, so it might be it might change the first sequence of the route.
And presumably they'll have to re-observe it as well. So we might get a bit of a delay here in proceedings, but that is the missing volume, which is, an interesting one to miss. But it's back in now. So the problem was spotted. The problem has hopefully been solved. So we're going to watch a replay in a second of the barn door, the fall, because it'd be interesting to see. So look, we're missing this hold on the left. Yeah, and it would have just kicked in, wouldn't it?
Definitely will give her more stability on that movement.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we presume is going to happen is that they will have the women's full rotation through, and then we'll go back to the beginning because they've got to give the athletes time to rest. That's what I'm presuming. And yeah, we can see the falls. So that's what's going on. What a dramatic final this is.
Is the first time it happens?
Chamonix, they forgot a hold at the very beginning. And we had no idea what was going on, but no athletes had tried it at that point. So yes, I have seen it happen, but I've never seen it climbed on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Ricardo.
Yes, he's jumping into the first.
Look, it's a static move. I stand by it. I'll die by it. You could definitely do it statically.
They are young athletes.
They're bouncy.
They have more like these movements into their routines. I think, is new style of climbing.
Yeah, exactly. They can bounce. So Ricardo is underway, and Ricardo, fifth in the Youth World Cup in Seoul. So he's up in the top 5 as well in the world in terms of his category.
This year he has been doing such a good improvement. He's just 15 years old. This year 16, so it's the beginning of his career. Definitely he has the talent. Hopefully he will continue improving as this year and get more motivated with the results of this season.
It's been good for me to see, actually, so many Italians. I mean, obviously, we're in Italy for this Continental Cup, but it's good to see how much depth the country has in its squad. But he's nearing this danger move. We know it can go wrong at this point. Gets the toe locked in.
And he didn't quick draw.
He has missed that draw at the moment. Yeah, good spot. So up to the slat, but I think he's going to be able to clip it from here, but it could be more awkward.
He did it so controlled.
Yeah, gets it in nicely.
Ooh.
Oh, but that was a big cut
He did
loose.
it so young athlete, you know. He's doing the move much more like comfy boulder style.
Andrea, you're 27. You can't start hitting the old athlete card on me here. Right, he's into the crimps though. And this is the blocked hold. Every time an athlete goes for it, I kind of hold my breath here a little. So if you're an Italian fan, wait for this move. He's in though.
Come on, Ali.
Big slap as well. And he moves into third place, 26.
Yeah. No!
That pocket.
He missed it again.
Causing a lot of issues. I was looking at the setters then as they made that move, and they were all like, it seems like they've sort of missed something, or the athletes have not doing it the way they intended. Interesting.
The movement might be intended in that way, but that purple hold is really sloppy. And if you don't have foot, it's much harder, so after climbing the middle of the route,
it's a big ask, isn't it? Really bouldery sequence with no feet or feet on a no texture surface, so hard for the men. This was him down low, making the traverse over to the right, moving from the fairly positive slopers into the bad crimps, and the move that makes me hold my breath.
See this move?
Oh, yeah, nearly lost it, didn't he? I actually glanced away at that moment. I just heard you go, wah, so I turned back, and that left foot.
Move.
That's the oomph move, right?
Yeah.
Hello to McDonald's manager as well on YouTube. I'm only shouting your name out because I genuinely want to know if you are. Are you a McDonald's manager? And if so, can we have free burgers? Just a question, let us know. And hello to everyone else on the chat as well. There's people who've been joining us on the chat for the last couple of days. I like to see regulars back. Jan Havel especially. Jan, let us know what country you're from. I'm interested. You probably did earlier, but I might have forgotten. Right, so we're waiting still for the women's. I presume we're going to get the first woman on here, and I think it's probably going to be Izia from... Sorry, I said that slowly because I was reading a name. But Izia, we think, is going to come out, but let's wait and see.
It depends of the rules, because they might be waiting for the minimal rest time.
And then go back to the beginning, possibly, yeah.
Possibly.
McDonald's manager is not a McDonald's manager. That is the most disappointing. And he wishes he could get free. McDonald's manager, you are dead to me. I will no longer mention your name on the chat. Now, the officials are coming over. I think they're trying to work out the system here. I mean, we've seen some interesting things. We saw a draw in speed, which I've never seen before. We saw the judges trying to work out what on earth to do with that one as well. Andrea, look, explain that. How crazy is it that two athletes can get exactly the same time?
Until the last... What was it?
Thousandth of a second? Something like that. 100 millionth of a second? I don't know. The third digit behind the point.
Of a second. That's almost impossible to happen. And we saw it yesterday for the first time, so wow.
We did. Now, Andrea, you listen to the Italian here. Let us know what's going on. I'll keep talking because the MC is announcing again what's going on. And my Italian is shaky at best, I will be honest. I'm enjoying the McDonald's chat as well going on the EpicTV channel. There are two very different chats going on. The Farsi channel seems to be into the details, whereas the EpicTV chat want to talk about McDonald's. I think I know which one I prefer. I've sparked something terrible here in the chat. So Andrea is listening now to our MC, who's letting us know what's going on. Clearly, it's a complicated procedure. All right, Andrea might have... She's shaking her head. I'm not sure Andrea knows what's going on as well. But we'll find out. We'll let you know. Go on, Andrea. The best to your knowledge, what's happening?
So he says that the athletes have their own routine for the warming up. And since this happened, they asked for 3-4 more minutes to be prepared to be able to do their attempt. So that's why we are waiting. So now we are going to see another man, and then the woman is starting again. Right.
Fair enough. Thank you very much for the translation. I appreciate it. So we will continue with the men here.
We are seeing first things happening in the competitions.
Well, I've dropped you into the deep end. That's what's happening here. Diego Forbert is out and about. He checks out the wall. And for the men, it's hard as well because, I mean, they've got their routines as well. So they're being disrupted with that one. So, look, it's part of it. And to be honest, it is a good learning experience for everyone because, you know, things happen in competitions. It's not always the way you'd want it to be. And if you can't deal with this kind of stuff, then you're going to struggle later on. So,
Of course.
although obviously it's not ideal, I don't mind it personally in terms of teaching these athletes lessons. He says that
You have to adapt every time, you know.
you do. You
Different
genuinely do. You know,
situations,
different countries,
sched- Yes.
weird food, everything goes on. So I think to be as prepared as possible. But right now, Diego will just be focusing on the task ahead. Into the crimps, getting good support from the French crowd as well, French team.
He started to do really good results since last year in the World Cups. He did one semi-final last year in Villar and got 16th. So he got the good results, and I think he improved really a lot these last 2 years. So let's see what he can do in this purple section, and then the crux that until now we didn't saw anyone solve it.
Yeah, can someone get that pocket? He was so positive on that move to the left. Toe hook in, straight away out. So good work. And now a bit of confusion though. This is he's just done the compression move. And there's another one coming up. He's got to drop in, makes the clip first of all. Nice double clip, good thinking from him. So he ignores the rest of them and will go into the crimps. Hits the right hand crimp, blocked hold coming up, hold your breath. Oh, just works his body up, his hips a little bit higher.
Ooh.
And cuts loose. Can he do this move? Oh, he had fingers in it. Well, hold 27 is proving problematic. We have still, by the way, not moved on from fast food on the EpicTV chat. So go and join that if you want to debate all things McDonald's. Let's have a look at this again from Diego. So run and jump start. Again, not using my method. Foolish climbers. Out towards the left. He made that move look so good, though. Straight in with it.
He knew how to put the toe hook, the right foot down the black volume.
Yeah, hit the blocked held, made that look easy as well. And then he was quick on this. I think that is the way forward, is to kind of flow through this sequence. He almost did it like a paddle sequence,
Wow.
like a coordination move, hitting the right and then going left.
When I read it for the first time with you, I thought it was like that, like a really coordination move and not too much time to think, because that's a sloper, and if you lose time trying to put your foot, then you lose energy too. So I think he did it well, but it's a hard move still.
It is. I mean, the black volume is there to sort of like stop the kick, but I mean, no one has even got their feet over that direction yet to hit it.
Yeah, you have to first take the hold and then put your foot. So
yeah, no one coming close yet. All right, well, we're moving into the final three of the men. Thies van die Crest is out, and women still doing their routines back. We're waiting for them. Co-commentator, people who are asking, Andrea Rojas, who is a technically a speed climber, although obviously during the Olympics competed in lead and boulder to a high level, climbs 8B outdoors, so is far stronger than me and is our expert here in the commentary box here this evening. So thank you, Andrea, for joining us. And Thies had a good semi-final round earlier today.
he got second in the last European, so I think he will try really hard to get into the podium again. But yeah, he had a good fight in the semifinals this morning.
Yeah, he did. He kind of made a bit of an error down low and came back somehow. I thought he was gone way before he was. But there was a lot of that actually during the semi-finals, so go and watch that, because there was a lot of recoveries that took place.
That's the interesting thing of lead. Like, you can make mistakes and still try to compose again and recover a little bit and just continue fighting. And I love when that happens and you can see the athletes really fighting until the end, giving everything they have into the wall. And hope that we can see it again in these finals.
Yeah, Tees is certainly going to give it his all, isn't he? He had that recovery, he's got that experience to pull from, and now he unwraps into the crimps. Blocked hold underneath the left hand coming up. And route setters, I would imagine, are getting a bit nervy. Yeah, they've got their head in the hand over on the left. So, and I just want to say, you know, there's a lot of bad chat about route setters, but they do work incredibly hard. I cannot tell you how hard they work. And it's just sometimes things happen during comps. Moves are harder, moves are easier than you expect. Everyone is different. Sometimes you might be on your good day, your bad day, so do give them some slack here. So, Tees on this move that we know is droppable coming up.
Ooh.
Drops down onto the sloper. Good work, though. Got to be careful of that bolt as well on the left. Now he's got high feet.
He's using that he is tall to...
Yeah, height and flexibility into that split move for sure. You've got to have power in the splits. It's all very good being flexible, but you've got to be able to move out of it and move into it. But this is interesting stuff from Tees, using his height to his advantage. Up to the blocked hold. He's going, and a bump into it. Has to flick the hand around the purple as well. But this is the move. Big moves out.
Come on.
Swing it. I want them to swing their feet now. 1, 2, he's in. Oh, and he fell.
Again.
Yeah, so another fall in the same spot. And all this is going to go back to count back at some point. So, Tees is another one who comes down. Someone is asking me who my favourite pre-workout meal is. Well, I live in a land of meat and cheese in France, so I would say saucisson, a little bit of brie, layered onto a cheese biscuit, washed down with sparkling water and juice. That's what I'd say.
Wow.
Let's watch this. I'm giving myself the giggles now. Let's watch it from Tees. This was the compression moves down low.
Tall person better.
Tall person better, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, that is it,
Being
right?
tall helps you to do this kind of movement. But then he tried to use the little foot, and then he realized it was no foot movement, and his hand just slipped when he was getting the power into the move.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, I keep wanting them to flick out left, but I think it's too bad a hold to do that. And we're still on the men, so I think we're going to do the entire men's comp and then go over to the women's and reset that one. Felix Madder is on. From Austria, Felix, 5th in the last Continental Cup. Someone's calling me a posh boy. I think they're calling me a posh boy. Listen, I live in France. Saucisson and cheese is not posh. It's just normal. It's a way of life. But I am a bit posh as well, so, you know, fair enough. Felix up into the first sequence of holds here. 2 clips in. We know the crux is coming, though. Someone's asking, did Tees use a bolt? Yeah, it was close, wasn't it? I saw that. I don't think he did. He was very close, though. And the bolt he was using higher up, I'll give you a shout when it's coming. But no, I didn't see Tees use it. Although people are now claiming he did on the chat, but we know what chats are like. And the judges, trust me, will be watching this like a hawk.
We could saw it also, like, from here, from the live it doesn't seem he used it maybe from the camera
Yeah.
angle. Sometimes it seems they are using it.
Well, we'll see. People are pretty adamant on the chat, but we'll find out later on. Who knows? But right now, Felix is up into the underclings.
Using the foothold.
Yeah, he certainly touched it. I think he might change his mind on that one. It's not the best, and he does. Moves into the big pocket.
Trying a different kind of movement. Crossing over to the second purple and then going to the undercling.
So Felix
That's a
reading it.
different-
Yeah, reading it a bit different.
Different beta. But he made it work, so...
I mean, look, complain about the route, but it is interesting, especially down low. There's lots of options for the athletes.
That's the interesting thing of looking at young people doing the routes, because they usually do different betas and taking the footholds as hands. And
Yeah, you're so right. I remember watching Oriane when she first came onto the circuit. Right, let's see if Felix then, can he figure out something here? It's a huge jump he's got.
Ale, 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 ale.
Right, come on, flick those feet out. He's looked at the back volley. Oh!
Trying something new.
That would be amazing if he pulled that off, though. A bat hanging on that pocket. No, another gone. Wow, well, this is certainly not ideal. Let's say it like that, shall we? It's not what you'd want. Right now, and there's lots of eyes flicking around the room. It's men's routes. Very, very cruxy for sure. We don't think there's a hold missing, because they would have done something about it by now, but for sure it's proving to be difficult for the men. So we will wait and see. We might grab one of them for a chat. Maybe I can grill them live on air, but I think they might hate me afterwards, so perhaps not. And let's watch this again. He tried it with the feet first, tried to get the toe into that hole, but I'm not sure that was possible. And then went for the traditional, almost paddle style, move through to the left. And at the moment, it's going to go back to count back, which means Felix, to be fair, is right up there on the podium. If scores stand, if there's any appeals, he will be at least silver with that score.
Yeah.
And up next, Guillermo from Spain, our final climber out for the men before we switch our attention to the women.
Yeah, another young athlete from Spain. He got 6th in Boulder in Seoul, so he has the power for doing this move. Let's hope he can figure it out.
I've got all my fingers crossed. For the sake of the setters, I want this to happen. So my fingers are now crossed. I hope yours are at home. I will remain crossed until he gets through that move, because I want to see the next half of this route.
Ooh.
And of course, Guillermo does not know that this is going on, because he's waiting in isolation. All the athletes come into the front section of the wall to wait. So he won't know. Let's see what he can do. He qualified in first position for this final.
He did such an amazing work in semi-finals.
Yeah, high up.
Fighting until the end.
Yeah, fingers crossed on the chat as well. Thank you to everyone. Let's see if he can get through. Let's see if he can make it to this move, first of all. We know there's a tricky one on the arete, on the edge. He just needs to keep it all inside of himself. Put all the pressure to one side. Ignore all the carnage that's gone on in this final. Climb for Spain. Guillermo drills that left foot in, making sure of it. Good purchase on the crimp. All right, this is the move that I get a bit nervous on. Into the sloper in a sec. Left hand being adjusted, right hand up. Guillermo now rotates in. He's got the bicycle. This makes me nervous. It stops your weight moving, and he drops it now because it just traps you underneath that hold too much. Has the heel, rocks up into the sloper. Has both holds in the compression now. And here we go into the crimps, Andrea. Andrea intently looking up as he drops down. He hasn't got that quick draw in. Oh, that makes it a bit more awkward.
Please, Guille, show us that this move is possible.
I want to see it. Final athlete out. Come on, everyone. Fingers crossed at home.
Come on, come on, come on.
Makes the slap. Here we go. Oh, no. It is a miss. Route setters have got their head in their hands to the left. So that is the stopper move that proved too far for all of the men. And countback will count on this one. Well, not what we'd ideally want, but certainly gave us some interesting moments down low. I mean, I was engaged throughout that competition. And yeah, falls all round for the men on that hold. Well, Andrea, I hope you haven't given up on me yet. You're going to stay around in the commentary box for the women's side of the competition.
Yeah,
but let's talk about you for a second here as we watch the last of our athletes come through. Obviously, part of this speed climbing circuit, Rome is coming up, but as an Ecuadorian athlete, Pan Am's are very important. So, when Emma got her Olympic ticket, how happy was the entire of the American continent?
We were really happy.
And explain why, because Emma Hunt, obviously, big speed climber in the US, she's out of the running now, so there's big opportunity for everyone.
Like, I think it was not in the plan for her to, take the ticket in Bern, but we were all crossing fingers because then it means that it's a good opportunity for me to fight for that ticket in Pan Am. So now that it happens, is a little bit more possible for me. It still is a hard competition, but I'm trying to just enjoy the process and not get too much pressure about it, and just be like happy with everything that I do, because as we saw yesterday, in speed anything can happen. So such a mental fight every time you're there competing. So I'm trying to be relaxed and get into the competition as with the best shape I can be, and also with the best mental mindset that I can, and we will see.
Well, best of luck to you, Andrea. The Pan Am's coming up. Oh goodness me, I don't even know when it is. Sometime in October.
21 of October, yes, in Chile.
There we go. Not sure if I'm going to be there. I'm trying very hard to be there. I'm pressuring the right people, but we'll see. Now, it looks like the women have totally reset. So they'll reread the route, they'll get the time again, and we just begin the women's competition as if that first round didn't happen, which is probably the fairest way to do it.
It's strange because now we have one athlete that climbed until really high in the route, and she get to read again the route with the other girls. So I don't know. It's interesting what she personally will share with the other athletes, because she knows the route more than the girls that are just
and
reading it.
She's standing right at the back as well. No one is currently talking to her about it. So that's a really good point, Andrea. Because, I mean, if I was Lucy, I would be spreading all types of false information out there. I'd be saying, look, you just jump to the dyno, jump past the dyno into the crib. You know,
that hole is really bad.
Yeah, terrible, the worst. Don't rest there, whatever you do. Obviously, Lucy, I would imagine, has some integrity that clearly I don't. But she is standing at the back, so perhaps she's been told not to speak to the other athletes. I'm not sure, because that's a really good point.
Yeah, I saw she was speaking with Valerie. Now she's speaking with the French girls. That's what I like from the climbing community. We are all sharing. I think she will not do or say?
Well, we don't know. Maybe she is.
We don't know.
I want Lucy to be the bad girl in this one. I want her to like be the evil villain. We'll have to find out afterwards. But I'm sure, as you say, climbers, lovely people. Of course they wouldn't be doing it. Well, guys, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Continental Cup. We're in Bologna in Italy. Lovely and sunny outside. And we're just having a reset on the women's competition after a missed volume down low. 3 climbers climbed it. 2 couldn't do the move that was missing. Lucy did do the move. And for people asking, no, this isn't for Olympic tickets. This isn't really for anything in terms of the Olympics, but it is an opportunity for up-and-coming athletes or athletes who aren't currently regulars to show what they're made of, show the selectors how good they are, and, of course, get some practice in. Because last night in the speed competition, we saw world-class World Cup climbers competing. They're all getting ready for Rome, Andrea, because that's in a couple of weeks. That's a big deal for the Europeans.
And also, I think some lead athletes are doing this competition as a preparation for Copper next week. So it's a good preparation campaign for lead and speed climbers this weekend. And yeah, for sure. Also, there are some athletes that did every European Cup this year, so they are looking for the points for the podium of the European Cup of all the years. So it doesn't give you points or things for the World Cup ranking, I think, but if you're doing all the cups, definitely you want to be in the last one and try to be on the podium or in the first places.
It is important, yeah. No, absolutely, for sure. And it's important for a lot of people. We saw the podiums last night for the overall winners. You know, it's a big, big deal. And in terms of funding for athletes as well, that might play a part in it.
True.
So there's a lot going on. And the women have a couple of minutes left on this observation period. They will then be returned to the ISO, and then we'll restart the women's comp. And hello to our chat. Really enjoyed your guys' input into this. I think there could have been a lot more mean comments out there. So thank you to everyone for keeping very polite on the chat. I do genuinely appreciate it, because we all know that things happen in climbing and that perhaps things aren't as ideal as we'd want them. But at the end of the day, we're here for the sport and the athletes, and that's what's important. And everyone is working very, very hard behind the scenes to make these things work.
They were asking where are the Olympic qualifiers. So for speed, we just said it's in Rome, the 15th of September, and for the combined lead and boulder, we will have Laval at the end of October. So the lead and boulder athletes will have a little bit more time than the speed climbers. And yeah, for Europe we will have that both European continental separate events, as like the other continentals are together. Pan Americans are both combined and speed. Also, I think Asians and all the other continentals.
Yeah, and those continentals go on until kind of mid-December for Oceania. That's when that finishes. And then next year we have the OQS series. And you've got to be in the top 30 in the world to qualify for the OQS.
For speed and 40 for the combined.
So that's 3 separate events where we'll give out more tickets for the Olympics. So we might have this situation where athletes are literally qualifying for the Olympics right on it. Jan has a question for you, Andrea. Do the women talk about sub 6 seconds time, or is that still too far away?
Wow. I mean, sometimes, honestly, when I see Miroslav climbing, I think she might be close to the 5 seconds, but for the other girls, it's still a little bit early, I think. But if the world doesn't change, I think it might be possible. I mean, the sport is evolving. There are much more speed climbers that just do speed now than the other years, and we saw it that makes a difference when you are just individualized in one discipline, in this case just speed, you can see that the level is getting really higher and higher.
Well, look, I'm going to get more geeky on this. If a woman can do the Chinese method at the top,
Ooh,
surely that's going to knock half a second off.
we talked about this, yes. I mean, that top sequence is really hard. I tried it. I mean, it's possible for women, but it's hard to keep the speed up on the upper part when you do that sequence. So it's not impossible for women, but you have to be really strong and have that stamina for doing that huge. It's like one arm pull up with the right, and then another one arm pull up with a pinch for the last, for touching the button. So maybe if women start to do that sequence fluently, we can see the 5 getting closer and closer.
Well, thank you, Andrea. See, this is why speed is so good. For people who complain about speed, you're wrong. You're completely wrong. I mean, you're just wrong. Speed is amazing. Camby, I see you.
We love speed.
Genuinely, it's the best. I love it. Camby, I see you. I see you. I notice you. I love you too. Matt, I don't know who you are, but I appreciate all the shout-outs. Yeah, no, speed is one of those events. And I want to talk about speed a lot because it doesn't get the appreciation it should do. Because I've been fortunate enough to spend my time with a lot of speed athletes from various different countries, and the amount of effort, dedication, work, literal blood, sweat and tears that you guys put into this sport is unreal, and it needs more appreciation. So I'm a big champion. I'm serious, and I'm not just saying that because you're here. I mean, I'm bigging it up because you're here, but go back and watch the speed comps if you haven't. All right, we're time for the women's side of things, I think. Yes, we are. Right, Lucy is going to climb again, and we've been told that she will get an opportunity, which seems odd to me, to be honest, but that if she doesn't get as high on her second run, she'll be able to use her first score. And she got high enough, you'd expect that she wouldn't, you know? It's like, surely not.
She had the time to recover, to rethink about the route, so it's a good chance for her to maybe don't do the mistakes she did in the first run, and she still has not the pressure that she still has.
Yeah,
she
that's
still
a good point.
has a good result in her first result. So
yeah, that does massively change that move, doesn't it? She just walks her way up.
yeah,
Okay, well there we go.
you could see it was much easier and much controlled movement.
Yeah, that really does change things. Well, it was spotted, it was corrected, so we move on.
Yeah, the positive thing is that we have the opportunity now to see the climbers really having the opportunity to fight until the end and really give their best and not falling in the first or second quick row.
That is a good point, yeah. We want to see the athletes fight.
Yes,
I mean, that's why we're here.
Sure.
Right, so let's have this fight. We had, oh, there's still a big move down low.
She did it much better than the first time, so that's what we just said. It's an opportunity to her to just reclimb it and remember every movement and doing it as best as she can.
Yeah, and just to reconfirm to anyone joining us, the women's route, the first 3 climbers did climb the route. There was a missing hold down low. Everyone has been allowed to reset and restart, and that's why they're climbing again. So that's the last time I'm going to say it, but that is what is going on. So Lucy has 2 quick draws coming up. And on the camera, that looks right by her head, but it is quite a long way away. She's got to do a move into it.
She's climbing much faster, I think, for comparing to the first time she climbed it.
Yeah, true. I mean, well, she knows these sequences, and I mean, she's going to be more pumped. Fatigue is going to kick in here. And she is shaking out hard on this move. Big slopey sequences to come.
That 2 holes that are coming are not good as they might seem.
Oh, big shouldery move there. And she is starting to snatch at these holds. So the pump building for Lucy We have been told, remember, that if she gets lower, she'll be able to take her original score, so don't panic too much if you're a Lucy Belgium fan. I tell you what, though, this is pretty amazing endurance from her to bounce back into this. Lucy Watlingen from Belgium. Nearing the halfway mark now. Although moves around the edge of the wall on that arête, you can see coming up. The black and yellow holes, that's not in the current route. A lot of people getting behind Lucy on the chat, as you should. Oh, what a fight from her. Drops right into the sloper. Now up to a blocked crimp on the right edge of the arête. Nails the heel hook, and that right foot is not good. She's nearing her own high point.
More controlled than the last attempt.
Yeah, she crosses into the pinch now.
Now she knows she has to do it. Whoa.
Big unwind.
Yeah.
Right, Lucy into the final panel of this route now. Hits up with the left hand, gets the left heel locked in. Brings the left foot up. Oh, and finally she goes. It was a good fight from her, and I think she's still happy with that. So Lucy's second run on this route is done. And remember, Lucy was 9th in the last Continental Cup, 48th in Bern. And thank you to everyone in the chat for getting behind her now. As we watch a replay of this move, this was a big jump down low. Really cool, that move, launching into a jug. And that's the best resting opportunity for the athletes. Just the right foot, slaps up with the left, 3 fingers dragging on that sloper. And this was higher up the wall, past the arête section. Pinching on the arête, bumped out towards the left, upgraded the hands. And I'm not exactly sure what her first score was. People are asking if she did better or worse. She was close to it.
Yeah, it was better. She did 1, 2, 3 moves more, so
it's an improvement.
Improvement.
Well, there we go. So, Lucy, improvement from her.
She felt going to the first blue hold, so this time she knew she had to push more into the foots, and she was in a better position when she did the move.
Now, for Quintana here on stage, she will feel pretty justified by this, because, I mean, she would have fallen off that move and thought, what did I do wrong? You know, she had her head in her hands, she couldn't believe it, and yet, as we can see in a minute, it's basically just a walk up the left. So the left foot, that's the one the setters forgot, that's now on. And Lucy starts her journey up into the first panel where the wall starts to kick back, begins overhanging. Lovely, by the way, everyone on the chat saying allez to the athletes who are on the wall. I'm impressed, chat. So you are the example of why we should have a chat. It's just, it gets a bit more toxic in World Cups, unfortunately. The EpicTV, place to be. Farsi channel, place to be. Quintana reaches out towards the left, just the right hand now. Big swing, almost hit the draw with the right hand as she came through. Yeah, and Andrea next to me had a moment as well, because she did almost take herself out. Gets a high foot in. Not really shaken out here, though. Gets a clip instead, so it still shows how hard this route is. First clip in, second one coming up. Now she'll start her journey over to the right-hand side. Chat, if you act like spoiled kids, I will not shout you out. But fair play, chat.
Allez, chat.
Allez, chat. Quintana rotates around. We're having a lot of fun over the last couple of days here in Bologna. It has been good. Thank you for everyone. Quintana looks at the clock, and I will tell you the time. So she's got 3:57 on the clock. Haven't got a clock on screen, but I'll let you know if we get close to things. Quintana rests before she starts her moves up into the slopey pinches. Right hand, left hand on. So technical, these routes.
You could see how the beta changes because she's a little bit shorter, so she couldn't do it with the toe hook, and she decided to put the heel hook really, really high and make it work for her.
Yeah, I could see that adjustment she made mid-move. Rocks up on the right heel. Quick micro shake out with that right hand. She gets a real deep left heel hook in. And look at that as well as a resting position. Heel hooks, I swear they've evolved since I've been watching climbing. It's become a whole thing. And the bands around the athlete's legs, I'm pretty sure it's to indicate which sections of the gym they're allowed into, because some are yellow and some are black. Someone was asking me about that. But we'll find out. I might be wrong. Great footwork from Quintana here. Stands up on her toes. She falls into the pinch. And it's good to see that she got a chance to fight here after that early fall.
And now is when she has to start fighting hard.
Yeah, this is a battle now. But she's gonna hit the new high point. She moves into the lead. And then finally she falls. Well, you said it, Andrea. She got the chance to fight again. And that was good to see after that early fall. So Quintana in the top spot. Oh, holding her left knee there. Hope she's okay. I think just a bit of cramp maybe. Seems to be walking it off. Still shaking that out. Let's watch a replay of that move. Went out towards the left. That was the move she nearly threw herself off on. Hitting the quick draw on the way through. And then higher up on the wall, towards the arete, sloping moves coming up. I thought she might have been a bit low before she did this move, but she had excellent footwork throughout. And this was...
You could see she tried to put the toe hook, and she decided at the end to do it with the heel hook.
And this was up towards the top of the route where she got to anyway. Yeah, she might have drawn the score there. I didn't quite catch it, but she was definitely on the top spot. It's the same hold. Then count back will count. Was it the same hold, Andrea? You're the pro on this one. Let's have a look. Certainly close. We'll wait for that confirmation on that. Janja Gambra is not here from the chat, no. So this is the Continental Cup, and a lot of the athletes don't compete at these events. Valerie Kremerer comes on from Israel, and she is our final athlete who tried the broken route at the bottom and fell very early on. So she's another one where we're looking forward to seeing what she can really do out there on the wall. Yeah, there was the Arco Rock Masters competition as well in Italy, but that was the other day. So some athletes choosing to go there. I don't know why they haven't come here. I mean, what's going on? Way better over in Bologna. So Valerie through that sequence, but making this look a little uncomfortable as she unwinds. Slams the clip in with authority. Yeah, the live scoring does get updated as we go. So there's a system where the judges input a score and then it's fed through the system and then onto our screen. So there can be a bit of a delay, but currently Quintana, oh, big move there. Currently Quintana is on, yeah, there's a bit of a weird update in the system. That's why, presumably due to this double try. So if you're on the app, it's bugging out a bit, just to let you know. DJ unlocking the tunes out there. I actually complimented the DJ earlier on at lunch because he has been quite good with the timing of his songs. You get some DJs who do their thing regardless of what the climbers are doing, but this one is timing things quite nicely. Valerie working her way over towards the right now, towards the arête. And Andrea, good footwork again from Valerie. She needs to do a big move out though now. It's very, very low as she rests. Oh, stands up tall into that left hand. And she uses the toe, doesn't use the heel.
Yeah, he's a little bit taller than Quintana, but still she decided to do it without it, so...
Yeah, good work from her. Now crosses through to get the clip.
We're seeing every athlete doing different betas on that shouldery move.
Yeah, I think that is the... Oh, she's working here though. Bumps up. This is the business side of the route. Makes the match.
She's climbing really controlled. I'm happy to see that she's climbing really well and breathing. You can see that she's enjoying it. I was talking with her before and she said it's her first European lead final, so she was just happy to make it to climb. And after what happened before with the missing volume, it's nice to see her getting prepared to fight in the last part of the final.
Yeah, she's someone that you've been on the circuit with for quite a long time, I presume.
Yeah, I know her since 2012 maybe. She started as a boulder climber and now she's really into the lead and improving every comp I see her, so it's really nice to see her motivated and fighting tonight.
Yeah, and she's coming close to the top spot now. We can see it on the leaderboard on the right. Valerie having to put in a big effort here. High right foot.
Allez.
Big
nice
moves.
Job.
This is
nice
great.
Job with her right foot over there.
But she hasn't clipped that draw. Oh, she's still fighting. I thought she might be going for the plus point. That's a crazy clip.
Come on, girl.
Luca Powell on the chat is saying, does anyone else get sweaty hands? Of course. Are you kidding me? I spend my life with sweaty hands in this job. It's so nerve-wracking.
We need some chalk over here.
Oh, we
too.
do. Valerie, top half of this route now. Nearing, she's at the bottom of the second to last panel on this route. You can see it there. The top's in sight. Oh, she's into the lead at the moment. Up towards the crimps, crosses through and falls. That
fight.
clip was amazing in the middle. Good fight from Valerie. She's in the top spots. And you can see the door to the outside. We're coming up to 6 o'clock. We will be a bit delayed from our scheduled ending time because of the reset for the women. Just gives you more time to love the climbing. That's all that's happening. This was the jump down low. Almost got a foot tangled up in that rope. Something we saw in Vila athletes hooking a rope. Up towards the bump. This is where I thought she was starting to fight, but she went so much further after that.
That's the interesting thing, to see elite athletes to be able to compose themselves after hard parts of the route and just keep climbing and fighting into the final parts of the route itself.
Yeah, and we watched. This was the crazy clip in the middle. Insane back heel to get that. And then moved her way up, and this is where it started to fail. Gastoning almost on that hold, needed to cross through the left.
Sometimes that changing from slopers into crimps get you really pumped from one moment to the
Oh,
other.
I totally agree. It's the worst feeling. When you're like, when your body has to do something different, and you're like, no, it doesn't want to. All right, Izia is on from Spain. Her first time out tonight, which is a weird thing to say, but it's true.
She has been having such a good season. She did some of the European podiums of boulder, and now she's into the lead. She just did also a podium in the youth World Championship in Seoul, so definitely she is in shape, and now demonstrating to us that she also has a good level in lead.
Yeah, she was third in Seoul, so a bronze medal coming off the back of that. All right, Izia, of course, will know that there was a problem down low, but she didn't get to try it herself, so she will just be moving forward. Izia up into the undercling.
And she decided to
match the hold.
To match the
Yeah.
hold.
And Andrea doing some acting out.
It's getting worse and worse. She didn't cross over and match the hold and then go with the right to the overhang to undercling and then match again. Just different betas that we can see in the route.
Absolutely. Don't worry about your English, Andrea. It's tiring doing this, isn't it? Speaking like this. I mean, you've only got to concentrate for 6 seconds or whatever it is. I mean, come on, easy. All right, Izia needs to hit this jump. Does nail it. Good work from her. And now she's out towards the left-hand side of the wall here. Remember, the men's has already been done, sorted out. Just onto the women's hip. And Izia makes the first of that 2-clip sequence into the crimp with the left hand. Needs to come over towards the right. Chat, you've gone a bit quiet. Keep on talking to me. I hope you're enjoying things. What are your observations? You got any questions for Andrea or any of the athletes here? We can find stuff out for you. And do let me know where you're watching from in the world as well. We found out earlier on where people were, and they were all over the place. New Zealand, California. Who's got the weirdest country? Weirdest country wins a prize that EpicTV will send to you. Contact Hugo at EpicTV.
Wow.
May or may not be correct. Everything I say, take with a pinch of salt. Yeah. Up with the left hand from Izia. That doesn't mean you can make countries up, chat, as well. Definitely I'd do that, though. All right, up with the right crimp. Oh, big cut loose for her. Chris from Sheffield. Yes, Chris, excellent place to be. France, Canada, Wales, wow, Austria, Sweden, everywhere. Poland, Singapore, that is, well, it's a bit weird. Shout out Hugo. Right, Izia is shaking out as she goes over towards the left. Horizontal on the wall. Kyiv, Ukraine. Yes, lower. Big love for our Ukraine family out there. Reaches up with the left hand onto that blocked hold. And now Izia into the crimp.
Vamos, Ichi.
Right, hits the sloper on the right.
Another different beta here.
Yeah, this is good climbing from Izia. In fourth at the moment. Thank you very much, chat. Excellent shout out. All of the countries enjoyed that. Peru, Edinburgh. Absurdistan, Olaf wins.
I know her.
You know her?
Yeah.
Wow, there we go.
Chen Chen.
Izia, though, is looking towards that left hold. She wants to make a big move.
No.
Can't quite hit it. Izia comes down. Let's have a look at that again. No, this was down low. That's the move that she walked through. People from the Philippines, from Mordor. What? Pandora. Hang on a sec.
Mordor. Ooh. What's that?
That's the Lord of the Rings mountain where you've got to deposit the ring. I'm impressed. Didn't know we had Wi-Fi in Mordor, but apparently so. What a run from Izia. Couldn't get onto the podium, though, but a good fight from her. Got that heel locked in. Yeah, it was good.
She had some struggle with the heel hook there, and then, of course, it's a long route, and that is a long movement over there, so you have to be really powerful into that, and she's a little bit shorter than the other athletes, so it was a little bit more like harder.
Yeah, she did have to fight. I think she'll be pleased. She came off with a big smile on her face to join her teammates. Right, from Slovenia, Rosa Reka is out on the mats, having a little read. The athletes get 40 seconds to recheck the route before they are ushered forward by the B-layer. As you can see, spotting through the first moves. There's a mat down on the floor as well. A lot of people asking about the Olympics on the chat. I'm not going to reveal much, but let's just say, well, maybe. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Rosa gets the first two clips in. Makes that cross-through move up to the crimp, easily on the arete, into the underclink. Nice palm press move done. What was my favourite competition of the year, Camby? Good question. Well, the season isn't over yet. We've got Slovenia and China to come, and then, of course, all the continentals. So far, I mean, Chamonix is my hometown, so it's special. However, Bern was pretty mega. And I've got to say, and this is going to be controversial, the speed finals in Bern was big move from Rosa, holds it. Yeah, the speed finals was the best speed finals I've watched and one of the best competitions I've watched just because of what happened.
Nerve-wracking.
Oh my goodness. Like, I mean, you couldn't predict those results, could you? So that was a good one for me. But yeah, that's the one that's most fresh in my mind anyway. Right, Rosa gets the heel in, doesn't really rest on that jug. Women's combined finals in Bern was pretty good too.
I mean, every event that gives tickets to Olympics make it really interesting. So
true. I was in floods of tears when Brooke won in Japan. I blame jet lag, but it was very emotional, that one. Anyway, Rosa is made easy work the first sort of third of this route. Big move to come, a big dead point up with the left hand. Hits the left hand easy. Now karate kicks that right foot over. Into the sloper, and again she has that, but pop the heel there. That was a big moment for her. Hello EpicTV, joining the chat. We've already done the Everyone is Watching for EpicTV. We had Mordor, we had Narnia, we had everything. Hello EpicTV, hosting this live stream, as is the Farsi channel. Oh, Rosa drops the move up to the block crimp. Went with the left hand, couldn't quite get the height on it.
that was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, people are saying Toby Roberts' first World Cup win was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. That was a special moment. I've never seen an athlete use their face and elbows and everything else to stay on a wall. So that was really exciting for Toby. Oh, there's been so many moments from this season. Right, let's watch Rosa again. This was the jump down low. Made the match. Adjustments on the crimps. He's got this heel and watch his left heel pop as well. This was a big moment. Oh, that was the slide. Luckily, she had the 2 arms in.
Super strong shoulders, for sure.
Yeah, good work from her to hold that one.
What happened there? Oh, okay.
All right, Ilaria Scalaris comes on, and Andrea next to me. Well, I always tell my co-commentators they're allowed to be as biased as possible. And Andrea, I mean, look, Ilya, someone you know pretty well, right?
Yeah, she's one of my best friends. So I will try to not.
You don't have to. I want full bias. If you're not cheering by the end of it, there's something wrong. I will be non-biased. You can carry on.
Come on, Nila.
All right, Ilaria Scalaris will start things off for her run. She had a great qualifying round, good semi-finals, came in 3rd position for this. And a big move up.
She decided to go with both hands into that first hold.
Yeah, a big move for her. And she'll have spent a lot of time backstage thinking about this route as well. Oh, and she falls down low. Well, the audience literally gasping around us because, I mean, look, we saw a fall on that first move. And she hit her elbow, I think, as she came down as well.
Her foot just slipped in the volume.
Oh, so an early fall from Ilaria. Wow, well, let's see this again. So she was... Watch that left foot. Yeah, just rushed it a bit.
She was just trying to put it in, slip right over. Such a shame because she has been training so much and she showed us in qualies and semifinals that she is in shape and she's really prepared for this comp, but things like this happen.
Yeah, super disappointed, as you can see. Goes over to be consoled there. That is, it's just, I mean, it's competition. It can happen, but for everyone invested and involved emotionally in this, it's just so difficult to watch. Okay, Sophia Avenda comes on from Austria, 15th in the youth, 7th in the last Continental Cup. Trains in that Cleta Centrum gym that we are all so familiar with if you are on or follow the World Cup circuit, or if you just pass by Innsbruck and you fancy a climb, that is the place to go. Although I've got to say, 24 levels gym here, I think it gives Austria a run for its money.
Pretty nice. Like this gym opens in March, maybe, if I don't remember wrong. This huge lead wall is 24 meters high. It's great to see that new gyms in Italy opening and trying to organize competitions of this level. It makes you think that they want to also to help to the level of the national team to improve, and that is really amazing.
It is. Like, good facilities make good athletes, and we
Of course.
need to have that infrastructure in place. So I agree with you. It's good that we have gyms at this level. Maria Ross on the chat says, Sophia sets in my gym sometimes. Allez, Sophia. Yeah, it's great when you see an athlete that you've watched train out there, you know, on a live stream, on the biggest of stages. So do let us know if you've got an athlete you're specifically watching. Is there anyone you're rooting for out there? Let's see. Sophia gets the heel in. Taped up right ankle as well. You can see that blue tape. I think it's tape, not a sock. Big swing, catches that. And she'll check the clock, 4:39 on the clock. Remember, the clock isn't on screen, but I will let you know if it becomes a problem in terms of time getting close. So Sophia reaches up into the left clip. A lot of people shouting out other athletes. Is Fanny Gibert competing? Nope, Fanny is not here. Big Team France, though, but not Fanny. Yeah, Fanny, one of the veterans. So good to see her back on the podium this year in Brixen, I think. Yes, Brixen. I think Brixen. I might have got that wrong. Let me know. I should not open my mouth unless I know the answer. You think I would have learned by now. Was it Brixen? No, maybe she commentated with me in Brixen. I can't remember. It was one of the two. Yeah, it was. She was with me in Brixen, so it wasn't Brixen. All right, Sophia works her feet around. Grace Hall is asking, where can we see the current scores? The best thing is the IFSC app. It's free to download. Go to Continental Cup on there, and that's where you can find that. So, Sophia Avendor is on this big dead point move now. Needs to stand up tall. She does, kicks in the heel. Oh, Salt Lake City 6th. I swear she was on the podium. I've just completely made that up. Apologies, Fanny Gibert fans. Occasionally I know what I'm talking about. Clearly not in this case.
But getting back into finals in a World Cup is a huge result for her, for sure.
It was massive. They could see how much it meant to her as well. Super, super cool.
She's super emotional. You could see when she's enjoying her time into the boulders.
And Sophia has paced this well. She's not rushing these moves. Just
she's
solid.
Fighting though.
Yeah, she is.
You can see she's a little bit pumped.
Yeah, now she makes the bump up. Yeah, she's stretched out here, isn't she? In 5th at the moment on 28. She just needs to settle down, find a good resting point here. Looks down at the clock. 2:20 on the clock. And shaking out for a long time in this hold as she comes up to the next crimp. Will cross underneath to the green ball. Bumps over, holds the right hand.
Come on, Sophia.
Yeah, she's having to fight, and she hasn't got that clip in yet.
Fight.
Hooks the rope over that left leg in order to make the clip easier.
Kind of like a knee bar?
Yeah, kind of it like a knee scrub in there. Just take a bit of pressure off the arms, you're right.
Ooh,
Misses the crimp though.
I don't know why she didn't put the heel hook on the left hold. That would make her easier to go to the next hold.
Yeah, I think a bit of route reading error there. She shook her head, couldn't seem to recover. From that moment you said that she was struggling, yeah. Yes, can be. The athletes get 6 minutes in order to do the route, like a World Cup. Basically, any World Cup rules apply here, so it's exactly the same, and it's why it's such a good opportunity for the younger athletes to learn the processes, to understand what's going on. So, we are reaching our final athlete of the night, Camilla Pouget from France. Possibly the favourite on paper to win this. Certainly qualified in a great position into this final. And your last opportunity to ask anything of Andrea, my co-commentator here. Speed expert, but a very, very good lead climber in the World Cup circuit, world champs. Good boulderer, so ask her anything you want. And look at Camille, she walks out with purpose, immediately rereading the route. I love to see an athlete do that. No messing around from her, straight out there, straight into the comp. Come on, chat, you've been amazing so far. Let's support our final athlete all the way through here. And thank you to both chats, both on EpicTV and on Farsi. And thank you for EpicTV for hosting. You don't check out EpicTV's videos, all available online. Vast amounts of climbing dailies. And of course, main channel content, just endless climbing content for you. So go and subscribe. Check out our gear shows. I'm just shouting out EpicTV here. Go and check out the shop. Now, a physical shop in Clues. All right, Camille Pouget reaches up with the right hand.
super strong this year. She did a 6th place in Briançon, in France.
Yeah, in her home World Cup, you're right.
World Cup.
Yeah, that was super, super exciting.
So we can say she has the level. She's prepared for winning this comp. Let's see what she can do.
Yeah, barring mistakes here, she should have this one. But as we've seen multiple times tonight, anything can happen.
Yeah. The pressure is also high when you qualified in first place and you have to be the last one out there climbing. You know you have to be precise and
yeah, you have to. I mean, someone like
Yanya.
Yanya loves climbing last, for example. Like, she loves that pressure, but some athletes don't. And yeah, it can feel like a lot, especially when you expect to be climbing with somebody else. Now you're by yourself out there. But Camille Pouget has made World Cup finals before, so she's pretty used to that pressure, I think. And it is good setting from the setters on this women's route after those moments we had earlier on in the comp. Camille climbing quickly as well. So she's up towards the big dead point move. No hesitation from her. Hits that left hand. Has the right crimp in. DJ ramping things up here for our final climber. Andrea dancing next to me. Left hand up to the crimp. You can't dance in the commentary box. I got to shout you out for that one.
Yeah, that's a good thing about being here. Nobody's watching us.
I know, but I can tell everyone. Right hand up. Now gets the heel in. Good footwork as well to work her way around that rope. Wants to bump her hand up with the right. Does so, and now we'll match in with the left. And she is an athlete who does wear the socks in shoes. We had a big socks in shoes, yes or no, debate during the semi-finals. Camille is clearly an advocate. And now up towards the crimp. Again, super positive with these movements. Just a different level of commitment from her at the moment. But down in 6th and approaching the crux sequence now. Now starting to struggle as she throws her head back. Out with the left. Block crimps, remember.
That is where we lost Sofia, and she did another beta too. Instead of the heel hook, she just put the left foot high, and it worked out. So nice to see different betas over here.
Yeah, and she tried to find a toe hook around the edge. There's nothing really to get purchase on. Thought better of it. Big move up. Sitting in 4th at the moment. She's looking to get a knee scrub in there. And she gets this outrageous drop knee back heel thing on the blue volume. Right, into the business end. Currently on the podium in 2nd. Up to 40 now, very close to the lead. And you can hear the crowd getting excited, cheering her upwards. This is the move, this is the sequence. Crosses in.
Yeah.
Wow, what climbing. That's in the top spot, and from here on it's a victory lap. Can we see someone clip the chains at the top? It would be great, wouldn't it? But this is such a big throw, it is.
Really fighting into it.
Oh,
Come on, girl, come on. Wow.
crazy stretch out to the left. Oh, wild last moves. That is awesome from Camille. For someone asking, she's got Scarpa Dragos on her feet, the low volume version, and she comes down. Awesome moves from her. Camille takes the win. Andrea, well, what a finals that was. I mean, we had a bit of everything. It was some controversy, some mistakes, But a good way to finish things off with Camille there.
Thank you for having me, Matt.
Oh, thank you. Now listen, I've got one more task for you. Could you go out and see if you can find the winners, bringing them back to the commentary box?
Okay.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Good luck with the Pan Ams in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye, everyone.
All right, so we will stick with Camille as Andrea will go out and find our winners. So we have gathered our winner. He's joining me in the commentary box. So we have our men's winner here in the commentary box. Guillermo, how are you doing, first of all? We're going to bring a camera in so we'll see our faces, so just hold on for a second. But number one, congratulations on that win.
Thank you.
I know your English is, you said to me, not the best.
Not the best, but it's okay.
It's much, much better than my Spanish. In fact, look, we're on camera. There we go. So hello, everyone watching at home. This is Guillermo. So let's talk about the route. That crux move. The move into the pocket. How difficult was that sequence?
Whoa, I think that it wasn't impossible, but it was hard. All the route was pumping its move. So when we are there, we fall. But it's a very difficult move. Yes.
And how good are these competitions to learn for your career? Because you're a young athlete, you have the World Cups. Is it good experience doing these Continental Cups?
Well, I think the things you can learn with these moves is just focusing in the qualification and in the semifinals, because these things could happen in the finals, so the results of the semifinals is very important.
True. Well, look, congratulations on your win here. Really, really cool to see you climb. You go and enjoy that podium, and I'll see you at a World Cup soon. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Guillermo. Lovely to speak to you. And thank you to all the chat. I really appreciate the love that you guys are sending my way. That's very lovely of you. Thank you very much. Andrea is, I think, going to go and find Camille, but I would imagine that Camille is deep in congratulations with the French team. She is indeed, but I think she's going to be joining me in a second. And big up to the chat for listening and joining us for the last couple of days. I've had a lovely, lovely time here in Bologna. It's been fun, this one, hasn't it? It's nice to be on this side of things after that pressure of Bern. Oh my goodness, that was a marathon competition. So really cool to move into something like this where we get to see younger athletes showing us what it's all about. Look at me getting all emotional as an older climber, but it is true. You know, it's a good opportunity to see the next ones coming through, and of course the youth comps took place on YouTube. You can watch them for free, as you can the paraclimbing. So big up paraclimbing as well, because that is a free-to-watch event. You can watch that from Bern. You can see who the paraclimbing world champions are, and it is a really unique and special event. So go and have a look at that. I think it's a 6-hour live stream. So if you want to hear, in fact, it wasn't just me. Oh, we've got Camille joining us now in the commentary box. So we'll turn our attention to her. So we are joined by Camille in the commentary box. I'm going to move that a little closer to your face so we can hear you. There we go. So, Camille, first of all, congratulations on that victory. You look so strong out there today.
Thank you.
How did you find the route?
The route was really great, and I take a lot of pleasure to climbing because it's completely my style. It was a route with many moves. I think I fall on the 49, so many moves, and I really love this style of route. So I really enjoy every moment. I was a little scared on the beginning because the foot were not so good, but yeah, I took a lot of pleasure, and the fact that we could read another time the route because of the they miss a volume, and that was better for me because I didn't remember all the moves of the route.
Okay.
And after the second time to read the route, it was way better, and it was really cool for me.
Awesome. And you've had an amazing season. I mean, Briançon, let's talk about that. I mean, you're up there in the finals. So what's happened this year? Like, what's happened to your climbing to progress you this much?
This year, I moved to Grenoble to train in Bologna at the French training center. And before I lived in my parents' town in Toulouse. So yeah, from this year I was able to climb with all the professional climbers in France and in the best lead structure of France. And I also changed my coach, which was a really great thing because we work together and we work really well. So all that's happened, and yeah, I put a foot on the professional kind of professional mode, and I had more time to climb, and yeah, there are many reasons, but I feel more motivated and more in my project. So
well, many changes, but clearly it's making such a big difference. So what an amazing season. I hope it continues for you. Best of luck in the rest of the comps, and we'll see you on that podium very soon. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I hope to.
See you soon, Camilla. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Well, thank you to everyone. So let's see some moments from earlier on in the competition while we wait for our podium, which is being set up. And then once the podium goes, I'm going to let the MC say goodbye to you. But thank you so much to Camille. Lovely interview there as well. It's good to hear an athlete, when they change things up, that it does work. And lovely to hear that. So let's watch some of these interviews. This was the men's route. Bit of a tricky jump start to get things going for the men, and then big throwy moves throughout. Slopers, finger strength required through the bottom of the route. You can see the amount of body tension required to really hit these moves. This is Austria's. Look at that move there, throwing it around from Felix. And he tried the crazy toe first method in order to try to do that move. Drilled the feet in, thought better of it, and had to campus over towards the left, as in the traditional way. Big run and start from our winner, Guillermo, there. Guillermo with the, oh, look at that tongue sticking out as he rocks up on the right heel. And then making the clip before launching right into these crimps. That was a blocked crimp that made me hold my breath a whole bunch of times. and finally falling on the pockets as we saw. So a nice couple of replays from earlier on in the men's comp. And we're a couple of minutes off the podium. Everyone gathering down at the front of the stage here. And thank you to everyone who hosted the comps this weekend. To the gym, people serving coffee, volunteers. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes of any climbing competition. So big thank you to everyone working. And I think now we're going to switch over to the MC and our podium because the athletes have walked onto the stage and we are ready for our podiums now.
Place.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll say goodbye. Leave you with the MC for now. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you to everyone for being involved, and Andrea in the commentary box. I will see you at another event very, very soon as we move on with the World Cup circuit. Here are the athletes.
Premia Luigi Gallo, presidente della Level 24. And so, second place and silver medalist here in the Lead European Cup in Italy, ladies and gentlemen, representing Israel, Valerie Kremer. Premia Kino Hernandez, European representative for the EFC. And so now here we are, ladies and gentlemen, first place and gold medalist for this Italian Lead European Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, representing France, Camille Pouget. Premia Davide Battistella, President of Federazione Arrampicata Sportiva Italiana. So everybody please stand up for the national anthem of France. Thank you, ladies. And so now here we are with the male ceremony award. Please, everybody, make some noise for the man medalist. And so, ladies and gentlemen, third place and bronze medalist for that second European Lead Cup here in Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Belgium, T.S. van Krijnest. Second place and silver medalist in that second European Lead Cup here in Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Austria, Felix Mader. Premia Ernesto Scarpieri, vicepresidente della Federazione Arrampicata Sportiva Italiana. And so now here we are, ladies and gentlemen. First place, gold medalist and winner of that Lead European Cup here in Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Spain, Guillermo Peinadro Fanganillo. Premia Davide Battistella, presidente Fasi. Please, everybody stand up for the national anthem of Spain. Thank you, guys. And so, before to finish, we will have the ceremony awards for the overall circuits for male and girls. So, guys, please go on the left side of the podium. We will have the ceremony awards. Camille, can you go to the left side of the podium for the overall ceremony awards? Thank you. And we miss one man. Okay. Can you go on the left side? Same game, but for the overall. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the overall 2023 ceremony award. And so, let's start with a noise for the female medalist. Applauso. Behind the podium, third place, first place, second. So, ladies and gentlemen, third place and bronze medalist for the 2023 European Lead Cup, ladies and gentlemen, representing Spain, Itzia Martinez Almendros. premia Luca Graziani. And so, ladies and gentlemen, second place and silver medalist for that 2023 European Lead Cup, representing Slovenia, Rosa Rekar. Premia Quintino Hernandez, European EFC representative. And so now here we are, ladies and gentlemen. First place, gold medal and winner of that 2023 European Lead Cup, representing France, Camille Pouget. Premia Cristina Cascone, consigliere Fasi. So please, everybody stand up for the national anthem of France. Thank you, ladies. And so now here we are with the last ceremony awards, with the last, and so I ask the last noise for the overall 2023 Lead European Cup medalist. So, ladies and gentlemen, third place and bronze medalist for the 2023 Lead European Cup, representing Austria, Felix Mader. Premia Federico Gallo, presidente della Level 24. Second place and silver medalist for the 2023 Lead European Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, representing France, Arsène Duval. Premia Ernesto Scarperi, vicepresidente della Federazione Arrampicata Sportiva Italiana. And so, now here we are, ladies and gentlemen. First place and gold medalist, winner for the 2023 Lead European Cup circuits, representing Belgium, T.S. Van Krijnest. Premia Davide Battistella, presidente della Federazione Arrampicata Sportiva Italiana. So please everybody stand up for the national anthem of Belgium. E quindi abbiamo terminato con la cerimonia di premiazione, abbiamo terminato con questa 2 giorni che è stata sicuramente impegnativa dal punto di vista delle gare, impegnativa dal punto di vista dell'organizzazione. Allora, come sempre, chiudo ringraziando tutto lo staff della Level 24 che ha reso possibile tutto questo, non solo lo staff di proprietà e amministrativo che ha introdotto questa realtà nel cuore dell'Italia, ma anche tutti i volontari che hanno lavorato in questo weekend. Ringrazio la Federazione Internazionale di Arrampicata Sportiva, ringrazio la Federazione Italiana di Arrampicata Sportiva, ringrazio il pubblico e, come sempre, non ultimo ma primo per me, ringrazio la persona dietro alle console che ha dato vita a tutto questo, e cioè Andrea Ciscato. Ciao ragazzi, ci vediamo alla prossima, grazie!